Welcome back to Watching Business Morning on Sunrise Daily. We delve into the manufacturing sector now and see some of those issues which you're very familiar with. We saw some of them in that report that was played earlier. And we have joining us for this conversation now, Dr. Emmanuel Accuses is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Nessit Nigeria Limited. Dr. Accuses, good morning and thank you so much for your time. So talking as a manufacturer now, we're just talking about the import waiver that comes into implementation today in Nigeria for staple foods. We know that the manufacturers have been talking yesterday. The customs controller was with manufacturers here in Lagos. I talked about issues around especially the FX volatility, the issue of logistics. Perhaps you want to emphasize on some of these issues.
Of course I will when we come to my own aspect.
So let's go to your own aspect.
Okay. Wonderful to be in your midst this morning. My name's I think I should remove that doctor at this point because there is crisis in the land.
Okay.
And there is also hunger. I don't think we deserve title as at today. But I believe that when the economy gets up to our expectation, then we can take back our titles. But let's work together to make Nigeria great again. My name's Emmanuel Accuses, the Managing Director of Nessit Nigeria Limited, as quoted. And by God's grace, we are indigenous manufacturers in Nigeria, a member of MAN, also a member of Lubricant Association of Nigeria. And we are working hard with government to ensure that we put food on the table of the masses. And it has been a great time. But as I am trying to, open up with you, there are quite challenges in industries today. There are.
What are those challenges, the most pressing ones?
Actually, the most pressing one is the issues we are having in the banks. Quite challenging. I think we came into business when the government introduced the ease of doing business. And instead of going to abroad to look for investors, we say, why can't we be the investors? Since we have the same brain that the white people has and the Chinese and other people, we have the same brain and we have the same talent. And when the government introduced that ease of doing business, and then we follow it, it is aimed to make sure that we industrialize our country, and it's also aimed to increase the GDP of this country, and then for us to be great like the Asian and the European and Americans. So we embrace it. And indeed, in those days, the bank are indeed business enablers. Because I could remember vividly that Bank of Industries, when we started, they lent us money. And we finished, we paid them. It was fantastic. In fact, that is the starting point. And later, the banks also, at that time, they were keeping to their word. But I don't know what happened.
What do you mean they're not keeping to their word? They're not giving funds, or the funds are too expensive?
No. They're not keeping to their word. Let me tell you what happened now. Why I say they're not keeping to their words. We manufacture lubricants in Nigeria, and about the mobility you are talking about, without lubricant, you can't move your vehicles. You can't get all those logistics in place. So that is what we did. And the raw material we use in producing those products, we source at least 40% in Nigeria, fantastically well. We are praying that in the near future, we can have them 100%. But by now, as of today that we have not gone to that level, we source the 60% from abroad. We import from America, Europe, and then also Russians, and other countries. So as a result of that, we have to open our LCs from banks. So we started from opening the LCs from bank. I could remember we have to secure about a loan of 2 billion naira from one of the banks. And that is about $5 million in those days. And with the little we are having ourselves, we keep on trading. But for you to open LLC, you can't go direct to CBN. You have to pass through bank. So the bank will come to my office. I have not gone to any bank. They come to our office because when they saw the factory, they are happy with it. They come to office, they told us they have dollars. And then we say, okay, open the lines for us. And they do. Then after importing 2001, 2002, and 2003, unfortunately, down to the end of 2003, there is a rumor that Naira will be devalued. And the bank, one of the bank wrote me and said that those FX that we have paid for, we provided 100% cashback. In fact, they told us we are going to provide 130% cashback. 130% instead of 100%. And I asked my FC, the financial controller, and the financial controller told me that, look, the 30% is for them to be able to take their charges, and also the duration of them getting the money from the CBN, that 30% covers that. So we didn't, we didn't insinuate any things on the way. So we quickly opened those LOCs.
So because we don't have a lot of time, the issue now...
After opening those LOC, the bank came after the devaluation of money and said that we should bring 400% addition.
So are you saying the challenge now is access to FX? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not access to FX.
Then what?
It is part of it per se, but the bank is asking us that the previous LOC we opened with them, which we gave them money for it, and those goods has been sold, and they're asking us that we should bring more money for that previous ones. And I said, bank, where are we going to get those money? So that is the issue.
All right, you said 2021. Is this a recent thing?
Not recent things. They say that those LOC they opened for us 2021, that they as bank has not gotten the FX from the CBN to liquidate their own line. But that is business between the bank and CBN, not to the customers. Because we provided 130%, some bank 120%. If I had that money, if I have bank by myself, I should only use 100%. And those goods have been sold, and it's no longer. So these are the issues that the banks is having between the bank and the central bank. So instead of them to push it to the central bank, which is their mother banks, or per se, you know how to put it.
They're regulators.
Yeah, they are regulators. They are now, since they felt that the bank the CBN is stronger than them, they have to push it to the manufacturers, in turn, killing all the manufacturers. Because where do you get such money?
So what's the way forward now? That means you have not even started accessing, the recent system which the central bank has introduced. The banks have been accessing the Dutch system, to get FX. That's not trailing down to you. You're talking of a transaction you had in 2021.
That is the true issues. We have not started accessing. Now we are only getting money from, in fact, for the past 6 months, I don't think we have not imported anything. We have not imported. It is so tough. Have
you approached the banks? Because they've been having supply from the central bank.
You see, those things you cannot understand them very well, because that is what they're telling us, that the central bank is giving them FX. If central bank is giving them FX, why can bank comes up to tell me that the transaction 2021 has not been liquidated, having provided the cash 130%? The one 2022 has not been liquidated, having provided the cash 100%, and the one 2023 has not been liquidated. And you calculated all of them and multiply it with the new devaluation of dollar. And the bank is asking me, in those days they came to the factory, they said this factory weighed 3.5 billion. And in accumulation, the bank is asking me that I should bring about 45 billion naira to come and settle FX. And it looks like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the murderers.
So what's the way forward now?
The way forward is that we are appealing to the government to look at the ease of doing business that they have introduced. It is following that ease of doing business. Today, We have employed direct and indirect about 2,000 workers working with us. And that is what brought us to this level. But because of these challenges that I told you now, if care is not taken, those 2,500 people will put off the streets. And then, you know what the implication in this kind of country where we are. So we are praying to the government to look into the industries, especially the manufacturers. We are partners with the government to make sure that the real ease of doing business, which they told us that they should implement it. The number one, just like you have said about the tariff in imports, because if the tariff is low, we can be able to export to the neighboring countries. Then number two, it is this issue of banks. If the government was to devalue dollars, devalue naira as we claimed, they would have liquidated all the transactions that the bank has with them before that time, before they can devalue. For me, I'm not owing any bank. Because I provided 130%, some 120%.
All right.
And the only thing I know is that this is our country and we are going to labor together to get out of all this.
Yeah, we certainly have to deal with issues, and find a solution. Dr. Emmanuel Ihekwazi, the managing director. I shouldn't call you doctor because it's a crisis period. Managing director, Chief Executive Officer of Nestle Nigeria Limited. We'll certainly try to reach out to, some regulators or banks, on this issue and find out what really is going on. Because, we need manufacturers for us to grow our real sector. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.